Let's go to White House correspondent Allie Raffah, who's been following all of this. And Allie, there was also some references, of course, to the political overlay here. You heard President Biden talk about how this moment showed why allies matter and why relationships matter, which seemed to be a subtle nod to the isolationist policies that former President Trump had espoused while he was in office, and then to that very direct question from one of the reporters in the room. And President Biden did take a few questions there. He talked about why didn't former President Trump get these people out when he was in office, of course, referencing Paul Whelan, who was still detained while the former president's administration was in place.
Yeah, Hallie, you mentioned that question that he was asked, quote, President Trump has repeatedly said that he could have gotten the hostages out without giving anything in exchange. And President Biden replied, quote, why didn't he do it when he was president? And of course, drawing attention to the fact, as you mentioned, that 2 of the 3 Americans released today were imprisoned, wrongfully detained during the Trump presidency. And you heard the president talk about when these efforts began, saying that he directed his diplomatic team even before he took office, when he was president-elect, to start engaging in these diplomatic talks, to be able to have this news today, this successful prisoner swap start, all these diplomatic conversations, also praising the work of that team that's really fanned out across the globe to be able to get to this news we have today. And you heard him specifically mention all of the countries involved in this today, talking about Poland, Slovenia, Norway, Turkey, and specifically Germany, and the work of German Chancellor Scholz and what the concessions that Germany made in getting this deal across the finish line. He said all of them joined this effort, quote, at his request, and he has personally thanked the leaders of those countries. He said that all of them, quote, stepped up and stood with us. All of them made bold and brave decisions, and reiterating, saying anyone who questions whether allies matter, he says they do, especially in times of great consequence like this. And you've heard the president for years now talk about his decades-long relationships with some of these world leaders, tout his experience as a senator for more than 35 years dealing with foreign policy issues. And again, during this extremely momentous moment, this historic moment, talking about the importance of those alliances, of those friendships. You saw the president flanked by 11 family members of these 3 American citizens and 1 American green card holder, addressing the nation, and again, giving credit to those countries that are still involved in this process. Of course, he said that these wrongfully imprisoned Americans that are now leaving will be home on U.S. soil in just a few hours, when, of course, they're expected to start that incredibly difficult process of now reacclimating to life, not in prison, Hallie.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app, or follow us on social media.